If you want to understand true, untamed wilderness, you must travel to the Kamchatka Peninsula, isolated at the extreme eastern edge of Russia. Imagine waking up in a small wooden cabin. You look out of your glass window. The ground is covered in deep, freezing white snow. Thick, dark green pine trees stretch for hundreds of miles in every direction. You look up at the horizon, and you see a massive, towering, snow-capped mountain. Suddenly, the mountain explodes. A violent fountain of bright orange liquid lava shoots high into the sky. A thick cloud of dark gray ash blocks out the bright yellow sun. You walk outside your wooden door, and you see massive, giant paw prints pressed deep into the fresh white snow. These are not dog tracks. These are the tracks of a giant, wild brown bear. Welcome to the Russian Far East. Welcome to the Ring of Fire. This massive, jagged peninsula is roughly the size of the entire country of Germany. But there is something incredibly strange about its geography. There are absolutely no paved asphalt roads connecting Kamchatka to the rest of the vast Russian continent. None. You cannot drive a heavy metal car or a large commercial truck into this land. The dense green swamps, the rushing freezing blue rivers, and the sharp mountain peaks create a completely impenetrable natural wall. The only way for a human being to enter this wild territory is to fly high in the air inside a loud, heavy metal airplane, or sail a massive steel ship across the freezing, dark blue water of the Pacific Ocean. Because of this extreme isolation, Kamchatka feels like an ancient, lost planet. It is one of the most geologically active places on Earth. If you fly a heavy metal helicopter over the vast landscape, you will see more than 300 massive volcanoes. And 29 of these giant mountains are currently, actively erupting. To live in the shadow of these active volcanoes is to live with constant, unpredictable danger. The local Russian people and the indigenous Koryak tribes who live in the small, colorful concrete towns know that the earth is constantly moving beneath their boots. Small earthquakes shake the glass windows of their houses almost every single week. During a major eruption, the sky turns completely black during the middle of the day. Thick, heavy gray ash falls from the sky like dark snow, covering the green grass, the white cars, and the wooden rooftops in a thick blanket of toxic dust. But this violent volcanic activity also brings incredible miracles. Deep under the freezing white snow, the intense volcanic heat boils the underground water. This creates hundreds of natural, steaming hot springs. In the middle of the freezing, dark winter, when the air temperature drops to minus 30 degrees Celsius, you will see local Russian men and women wearing bathing suits, swimming in large natural pools of boiling hot, blue mineral water. Thick white steam rises from the hot water into the freezing, snowy air. It is an incredible, beautiful contrast of absolute fire and absolute ice. But the volcanoes are only the background of this magnificent story. To truly understand daily survival in Kamchatka, you must look closely at the wildlife. Because out here, human beings are not at the top of the food chain. Kamchatka has the highest concentration of giant brown bears on planet Earth. There are more than 20,000 massive, hungry bears roaming through the thick green forests and the tall yellow grass. These bears are incredibly huge. A male brown bear standing on its back legs can be 10 feet tall and weigh more than 1,000 pounds. They have thick brown fur, massive jaws, and incredibly sharp, curved black claws. If you walk outside the main city of Petropavlovsk, you must carry a bright red flare gun, a heavy metal hunting rifle, or a loud metal bell to warn the bears that you are walking through their territory. You never, ever walk through the dark green forest in silence. During the warm summer months, a biological miracle happens that feeds both the giant bears and the human economy. It is the Great Salmon Run. Millions upon millions of giant, silver and bright red Pacific salmon swim out of the deep, salty blue ocean. They swim aggressively up the shallow, fast-moving freshwater rivers of Kamchatka. The clear blue rivers literally turn bright red with the massive bodies of the swimming fish. The giant brown bears walk directly into the freezing, rushing water. They use their heavy paws and sharp white teeth to catch the massive, splashing red fish. They eat thousands of pounds of raw red meat to build thick layers of yellow fat for the long, freezing winter hibernation. But the bears are not the only ones hunting in the river. The local Russian fishermen rely entirely on these giant red fish for their economic survival. During the short, busy summer season, the small fishing villages transform into massive industrial operations. Strong, rugged fishermen wearing thick, waterproof green rubber suits stand in the cold river. They pull massive, heavy white nylon nets out of the water. The nets are completely overflowing with thousands of struggling, wet silver and red fish. They load the heavy fish onto loud diesel trucks. Inside the cold metal processing factories, workers use sharp steel knives to quickly cut the fish open. They are looking for the ultimate prize of the Russian Far East: red caviar. They carefully extract millions of small, glowing, bright orange fish eggs. They wash the bright orange eggs in cold, salty water and pack them into shiny glass jars and large metal cans. This glowing orange caviar is known as red gold. It is an incredibly expensive, luxury food product that is shipped inside freezing airplanes to fancy restaurants in Moscow, Tokyo, and New York. But for the local people sitting in their wooden cabins, a large piece of baked red salmon meat and a thick wooden spoonful of salty orange caviar is simply their daily lunch. It is the heavy, calorie-rich diet that allows them to survive the brutal physical labor of the wilderness. When the busy, bloody summer fishing season ends, the landscape undergoes a terrifying, beautiful transformation. The brutal Russian winter arrives. Massive, dark storm clouds roll in from the freezing ocean. They drop unbelievable amounts of heavy white snow onto the jagged mountain peaks and the empty green valleys. The snow here does not fall in inches, it falls in feet. Entire wooden houses, small metal cars, and tall wooden fences are completely buried under massive white snowdrifts. The deep snow makes walking completely impossible. So, the people of Kamchatka completely changed their mode of transportation. They do not drive cars. They drive massive, loud, heavy metal snowmobiles. If you look across the frozen, flat white landscape, you will see a local hunter wearing a thick, heavy black fur coat, a furry Ushanka hat, and dark black goggles. He drives a fast, roaring snowmobile across the deep powder, kicking up a massive cloud of white snow behind him. He drives out to the solid, frozen lakes. He uses a sharp metal ice auger to drill a deep, circular hole through 3 feet of solid, transparent blue ice. He sits on a small wooden chair in the freezing wind, dropping a thin fishing line into the dark water below the ice. He sits in total silence, surrounded by the towering, smoking volcanoes, catching small silver fish to feed his family. Further to the north, in the vast, empty white tundra, the indigenous Koryak and Even peoples live a life completely disconnected from the modern Russian towns. They are the ancient reindeer herders. Just like the nomads of Mongolia, they live in temporary round tents wrapped in thick animal skins. They follow massive herds of thousands of wild reindeer across the freezing white snow. They use long wooden sleds pulled by strong, heavy-breathing dogs to travel across the icy plains. They survive the deadly, freezing wind by wearing clothing made entirely of thick, warm reindeer fur and soft animal leather. They drink hot black tea and eat boiled meat over a burning open wood fire. Their lifestyle is a beautiful, ancient echo of human endurance, surviving in an environment that is totally hostile to human life. But this incredible, pristine wilderness is constantly under threat. The modern world wants the valuable resources hidden inside this wild land. Illegal poachers fly loud, black helicopters deep into the protected nature reserves. They carry heavy, illegal sniper rifles. They hunt the giant brown bears just to cut off their paws and sell them for massive amounts of illegal paper money on the black market. They string illegal metal nets across the clear rivers to steal the valuable orange caviar, leaving thousands of dead red fish rotting on the green grass. To fight this destruction, brave local wildlife rangers patrol the massive, empty forests. They ride fast snowmobiles and carry heavy government rifles, engaging in dangerous, deadly shootouts with the illegal poachers. They are fighting a desperate, violent war to protect the giant bears, the silver fish, and the beautiful, untamed forests. Living in Kamchatka is an exercise in absolute respect for nature. You cannot control the exploding volcano. You cannot tame the giant hungry bear. You cannot stop the massive, freezing winter snowstorm. You must adapt to the violent rhythm of the earth. When you stand on the black volcanic sand of the Pacific beach, listening to the loud crashing sound of the dark blue ocean waves. When you smell the sharp, burning yellow sulfur gas blowing down from the glowing red volcano. And when you taste the salty, rich orange caviar harvested from the freezing river. You realize that Kamchatka is not just a place on a map. It is a living, breathing, exploding monster. It is dangerous. It is cold. It is beautiful. And for the tough, rugged people who call this freezing peninsula their home, there is nowhere else on planet Earth they would rather be.